Hey frag hits and fragrance lovers, welcome back. Benjamin here, Centaur Fragrance Channel, chatting it up about some beautiful fragrances, colognes, perfumes, all those great smelly things. You've come to the right place to learn about fragrances. And today we're talking about Orage, I believe that's how you say it, from the house of Louis Vuitton. Before we jump into the fragrance review today, if you find that you like my content, if you find that it's valuable, if you enjoy what I say and what I'm doing, please help me out down below. You know how to do that. You know how YouTube works. Let's talk about this fragrance though. Is it everything that you dreamed of come true? Well, maybe. There is bergamot, patchouli, and there's some fresher notes to this fragrance. There's ambrette, adding some musky freshness. But this fragrance, really, I don't really care about the notes. This is one of those fragrances, I look at the notes, and I kind of just want to throw them in the trash because this is called Orage. And maybe I'm getting that association with orange way too much in my head. The cap is not an orange color, the lettering's not orange or anything like that. But I have it sprayed on my arm here, and for the first couple seconds, I smell orange. And this fragrance then kind of smells not like orange juice, but it has more of that tart, citrusy, citric quality that orange has. And I'm not sure if that was the intention to capture that citric, that really sour, like an unripened, like a green orange kind of feeling. But it's here, and that's almost all of what I get with this fragrance. So looking at the notes of the bergamot, the patchouli, and the ambrette, and all those other things really don't matter much to me. This fragrance is very overtly blended. A lot of these Louis Vuitton fragrances are very overtly blended and mostly synthetic, if not all synthetic, giving these fragrances a, you can't really pick out the notes. There's not a lot of depth or complexity. Is this a bad smelling fragrance? No, it actually smells really nice. And surprisingly, you can actually get that feel good vibe from this fragrance. I'll spray it up for you. Wonderful sprayers. Actually, it gives you some of that feel good citrus and that feel good vibe. Almost makes you want to do that, citrus dance. Anyways, I'm just joking around, but this is a fun fragrance. It does smell really nice. This is one of the most wearable from the Louis Vuitton. This one and Afternoon Swim have some of the most beautiful citrus I've ever smelled, especially for what I feel is more synthetic citrus. It's actually really, really well done. And Jacques Cavallet is the perfumer for most, if not all, of their fragrances, and he's a master perfumer. So I don't know what his limitations were and what the expenses are behind these fragrances. We'll talk about the end, but I do think they're very overpriced. But he still was able to do magic despite limitations and probably not the most expensive ingredients. At least I feel, in my opinion. Really nice fragrance though. There's a sourness, there's almost a woodiness, and there's a crispness to this fragrance that is quite delightful and quite wearable and really, really nice. So a nice fragrance comes together quite nicely. It's easy to wear. Again, it reminds me quite a bit of an orange, like an orange tree, and the sourness and all that. I talked about that, but really does remind me of that. Let's talk about that performance. This is going to be a short, sweet review because there's not a lot to say about this fragrance, in my humble opinion. I do have some final thoughts that you need to hear about, though. This fragrance is going to give you about 6-7 hours. Now, this is for a fresh fragrance. That's actually quite good, so don't beat it up too much for being only lasting about 6 hours. It's actually quite a nice fragrance and how it smells for how long it lasts. And actually pretty good. I would say it has average projection sillage, nothing special that's going to leap out, but it has a good little presence to it. It's not bad performing, but certainly it could be better. Again, on some people, I wouldn't be surprised, depending on your skin chemistry, if it's completely gone after 5 or so hours. This is not going to be a super long-lasting fragrance, but it's fresh and it feels good, and that's kind of what the intention is behind a fragrance like this. Not every fragrance is kind of meant to be super, super long lasting. So this here, compliment factor wise, honestly, people aren't really going to be able to pick it up on you. Again, I said about average or so, maybe even slightly below average projection. People are not going to be able to notice this fragrance unless you get fairly close to them. So people they'll find it enjoyable. They'll find it fresh. I had that experience, and people will think it's a little bit nice that you're wearing something so fresh and so likable. And it's a little bit citrusy and all that. But it's not seductive, it's not amazing, it's not going to have anybody chasing you down, it's not overtly classy, it's not going to have you stand out in a business or office or a fancy party or anything like that. This fragrance here to me is just something that you would want to wear kind of carefree, and it's a feel-good scent, and it's something that you would want to spray on 10 or 20 sprays. Not that you're trying to get crazy performance, even though that would help, but just because you like how it smells. Reckless abandon, spray it all the time because it feels good. That kind of, and you want to experience that opening over and over again. It really does have that quality, just like Afternoon Swim. The thing is, this fragrance doesn't have anything special going for it, especially when we consider the price tag of $265 odd. I personally feel like this was an attempt and almost a clone in a way to copy Hermes Orange Vert. Now, I do not have any real facts or information to prove a claim like that, but this smells a little bit Hermes-like and does remind me in an odd way of Orange Vert. Or a fragrance that Hermes would make. Is this a good fragrance? Yes. And I actually would love this fragrance if it was around the $150 range, and maybe if it was a stronger fragrance with a little bit more depth to it. I would actually love this fragrance, but especially for the price, and that it, again, I love how fresh this fragrance is, but I would like a little bit more character in the dry down. It just does not have what I'm looking for overall in a fragrance. So to me, that's a real negative. That it not only doesn't last as long as I want it to, but it's very overpriced. So that's a double whammy and makes this really a no-go. But if you do love orange feeling, or a fragrance that somehow remarkably comes to an orange-like fragrance without them claiming that orange is even a fragrance note in this whole composition, and you like a feel-good fresh fragrance and you really don't care about the price, this might be something that you want to try. Would I prefer this after Afternoon Swim? This one's a little bit more fancy, a little bit more classy. Even though I said it was laid back, it does have a little bit of refinement. Afternoon Swim is very casual, and I do tend to prefer classier fragrances, but I really would have to choose Afternoon Swim over this fragrance. So again, I don't know how well this fragrance is received. I haven't seen too many people talk about it, but it's nice for what it is, but it's just overpriced. That's my thoughts. I don't have too much to say about this fragrance. I don't want to, waste your time, but hopefully let me know in the comment sections below. What is your favorite vetiver fragrance? What is your favorite orange fragrance or citrus fragrance or citrus aromatic? Let me know in that comment section below. I need to try more of them and experience even more. This one's a pretty good one. But just for the performance and the price, I just can't recommend a fragrance like this. I think you pay a lot for the Louis Vuitton name, and I think you are paying for the exclusivity. Louis Vuittons rarely, if ever, are going to get discounted, and they try to keep control of their fragrances, and they don't want them to hit discounters. They don't want them sold and being available at your TJ Maxx, your penny stores, or your discount stores. They're trying to keep up their image as a luxury brand. Just like Dior and Chanel and some of these brands that really keep a hold of their supply. They don't want this in the hands of just somebody and they paid 20 bucks for it. They definitely do not want that to happen. So Orage, or Orange, I want to call it Orange. Louis Vuitton, a nice DNA, decent, but nothing to write home about, especially for the price. Everybody, I'll see you in the next fragrance review. I upload Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I hope that you enjoyed my review today. Let me know, how do you feel about this fragrance? What do you think about my fragrance review? And what do you want to hear about in my next video? Anyways, if you love this fragrance, nothing against you. Please enjoy your fragrance. And if you do like it, let me know in the comment section. Why do you like this fragrance? Why does it work for you? And how does it improve your fragrance life? So I'll see you soon in the next video, everybody. Have a beautiful day. Find the fragrances that you love. Wear those fragrances and enjoy life. That's what this channel is all about. So I hope to see you in the next video. I'll see you soon, everybody. Peace out. Have a good one, and bye.